which came to $9.40 for the entire island. 47 cents per acre was the price the U.S. had paid the Sioux for the land they had taken in the Great Plains, so this seemed a reasonable offer. Nevertheless, the Nixon administration refused. Sometimes he daydreamed that he was on the island too, the youngest chief ever chosen to lead Indians of all tribes, the great gathering of his people. In his fantasy, he dreamed he had power, and nobody would ever again be able to bully or abuse him. But then one day, he was caught reading the IOAT pamphlet. "Ralph, what is that?" a master demanded, coming into the bathroom where he was sitting on the toilet after the 8:30 p.m. lights out, hoping to be alone. "Are you looking at dirty pictures? Are you committing a sin?" The master snatched the pamphlet, and his eyes narrowed in anger when he saw what it was. As far as he was concerned, this was far worse than dirty pictures. This was communism. The master took the boy by the ear and led him across the compound to the headmaster's office. The headmaster was a very large man with glasses, more than twice the size of the boy. He was dressed in khaki pants and a plaid shirt that was enormous. To the boy, he looked like an elephant without a trunk. "I see," said the headmaster as he browsed through the brochure. He sat behind a huge desk in a huge chair as the boy stood before him. "Where did you get this filth?" The boy with no name didn't answer. "Ralph, I'm going to ask you again. Where did you get these lies?" Still the boy refused to answer. The headmaster sighed. "You know, Ralph, it's very disturbing to find you reading such trash. Your father in Washington has given you a tremendous opportunity to enjoy the benefits of civilization. He's paying for your education so that you can become a useful American. When you leave here, you'll be able to live in a nice home with a television and a refrigerator. Now I'm going to ask you again. Who gave you this pamphlet?" But still the boy refused to answer. The headmaster stood from behind his huge desk. "I'm going to have to punish you. You've been a bad boy, and I'm going to give you a good whipping. And then you're never going to do anything this bad again. Do you understand me?" The boy did understand, and he was terrified. Nevertheless, he stood without flinching, determined to be brave like the Indians who had taken over Alcatraz Island, where a prison once stood. "Pull down your pants," said the man. "Bend over the desk." The boy didn't cry. He pulled down his pants. He bent over the desk. The headmaster locked the door. He came up behind the boy with a riding whip. Smack! The whip slashed against his bare buttocks. The whip came down again and again. The pain was terrible, a hot agony that caused his eyes to tear. He gasped each time the whip slashed against his skin, but still he refused to cry. The headmaster kept whipping him, caught up in a frenzy. And then something else happened. Something worse. The headmaster pulled down his own pants and came at him from behind with something huge and hard that penetrated his very being. At first the boy didn't know what was being done to him because it seemed so strange. It was like a piston piercing his rear end, in and out, coming at him with remorseless power. The pain was unbearable, and now the boy did cry. He screamed in agony. "Shut up, you bad boy," said the man. His huge hand came down on the back of the boy's head, pushing his face hard into the desk so that the boy could barely breathe. It went on for a long time, pain without end. It felt like his body was being torn apart. Until at last there came a pulsing throb from the thing that was inside of him, and he felt a hot liquid shooting up into his innards. It was the final desecration.